If you're watching this on the day of the release of this video, we are just about to go to Boston for the Boston Marathon weekend. It's 2025, it's the release of the Boston 13. And of course, Adidas had to release a new version of the Boston ahead of the Boston Marathon, a race which they sponsor. Let's dive into it, let's review it. I'm gonna tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, but most importantly, whether or not this shoe will work for you. Hey everyone and welcome back on the channel, my name is Alex. In today's video we are reviewing the Adidas Adizero Boston 13. Let's just call it the Boston 13 for simplicity reasons. This shoe is an update to the Boston 12 that I have right here. I will refer to this shoe a bit throughout this video, but we will also have a dedicated comparison video on the channel, so stay tuned for that. This video is sponsored by Top 4 Running. They have no interest in me giving a good or a bad review for this shoe. They sell all the brands, all the shoes, and you can just use code META, META on top4running.com. That gives you a discount, and we get a small kickback that we can use to grow this channel. Thanks a lot for using that link in the description and code META, META on top4running.com. Let's quickly look into the specs, and first of all, the stack height, we're looking at 36mm of stack height in the heel, 30 in the forefoot for that 6mm drop. We have 276 grams in my size US 11 EU 45. This is slightly less than on the Boston 12, so this shoe is becoming lighter. This is thanks to a few key updates to the shoe. We'll cover them one by one, but slightly less drop, going from 6.5mm down to 6mm. Not a huge issue and not a huge difference. If I'm being honest, a bit less stack height, going down from 37 to 36. And then most importantly, the weight goes down a notch as well. Price point remains the same, 160 euros, $160, which we'll cover at the end of this video, but I think I can already say it here. It's an attractive price point for what this shoe does and what it offers. Looking at the upper of the shoe, many differences compared to the Boston 12. The Boston 12 didn't have the best upper out there by any means. The tongue was very flimsy, very thin. The heel counter, heel cup was not padded enough and didn't offer a very good comfort experience. And in general, that upper felt very abrasive, very harsh, and many people complained about it. On the Boston 13, Adidas addressed most, if not all of these issues. The tongue is now more padded. It has a very nice feel against the foot. The heel is superb. It's not the same as on the Adios Pro 4. This is much more padded. Obviously, this is not a race day shoe, at least not for the elite. Many people could race in the Boston and could achieve a very good result in a Boston shoe. But this one is more of a super trainer in that category. And of course, more padding doesn't hurt, and more padding means a bit more weight. But here again, this is not meant to be the pinnacle shoe from Adidas. The comfort is excellent in the heel. I do not have much to complain about. I feel like my heel is well supported, well enveloped by this heel counter. The comfort is really good. And I must say, it's a dramatic departure from the Boston 12 that, again, I personally and many people out there didn't really like when it came to the comfort of the upper and especially the comfort of the heel. The heel also is relatively stout. The insole is removable. The tongue is semi-gusseted. The lockdown in the midfoot is really good. The length of the shoe is, let's say, on the shorter side of things. I wouldn't size up by any means, but if you have slightly wider feet, or if you just know that you like to have a bit more room in front of your toes, it might be a good incentive for you to go half a size up with your Boston shoe. Now, when it comes to the width, this is definitely on the more narrow side of things. It doesn't feel very narrow when first putting your feet in the shoe, but when running in it, you definitely realize that this upper is on the more snug side of things when it comes to the width here. Adidas was always known, quote unquote, for their long and narrow shoes in the Adizero franchise, at least. This is less so the case. It's, I would say, slightly shorter, slightly wider, but still following that trend of Adizero shoes being slightly longer and more narrow than other shoes on the market, if that makes sense. So the upper in general is really good. Adidas addressed everything they had to address with this upper, and I feel like they did it really well. I like it. It's comfortable, it's plush, not too much, it's just the right in between. The material I didn't cover, but it is scratchy from the outside, not at all from the inside, not abrasive at all from the inside, very comfortable against the skin, lots of comfort. I really like this upper. The midsole of the Adidas Adizero Boston 13 is that same dual foam setup with Energy Roads 2.0 sandwiched in between. However, there is a bit more Lightstrike Pro in this shoe compared to the Boston 12. There's 13.8%, let's call it 14% more Lightstrike Pro foam in this shoe. How is it spread? I mean, first of all, it's still running full length from the tip of the shoe to the back of the shoe. You do have that top layer of Lightstrike Pro. I feel like, and this is just my feeling, the difference really comes in terms of thickness of that layer of Lightstrike Pro, especially in the heel. I feel like there is a bit more Lightstrike Pro in the heel, and that's probably where the 14% come from. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's in the forefoot, but my sensations with the shoe are that it's more Lightstrike Pro in the heel. Why do I say this? Because the heel landings in the shoe are just so much more comfortable and pleasant compared to the Boston 12. Now, there's a caveat to that. My Boston 12 is now 2 years old, let's say 1 month, 1 year and 10 month old, if I'm very specific. And shoes age. My Boston 12 is kept in a place that is dehumidified, fairly at the same temperature the whole year, around 15 degrees Celsius, 60 Fahrenheit. However, shoes age. No matter the conditions, these are good storing conditions, but shoes age. So you need to take with a grain of salt everything I'm saying in terms of comparison, because this is not a fresh pair of Boston 12. But I'm very confident that the cushion in the heel is better thanks to that Lightstrike Pro addition, 14% more foam, and Lightstrike Pro is definitely softer than Lightstrike 2.0, more standard EVA based foam that you have right here, mostly in the heel, but also running full length under the Energy Roads. Another small difference, as you can see, the place here on the lateral side from the outside where you can see the Energy Rods has shifted slightly backwards on the Boston 13. I feel like this is really to offer a bit more stability to this shoe, making, giving this addition of Energy Rod material here on the lateral side. I didn't notice a huge difference, also because the Boston 12 was running a bit more firm, and therefore it felt a bit more stable for me. Now, this shoe is not unstable by any means. It's a bit softer and it's a bit less stable, but the difference is definitely very small, and I didn't really notice the change in the Energy Rod placement on the two shoes. How's the ride, and most importantly, what this shoe is made for? The Boston 13 has a slightly softer, slightly more dynamic, but most importantly, way more comfortable ride compared to the Boston 12. This is a very good Boston. I really like this shoe. It's made for pretty much everything in your training regimen, with a focus on endurance, tempo, up-tempo paces. So everything between your long run pace up to, let's say, your half marathon pace for some intervals, you can cover that. You can do some track reps, no problem. You can do some recovery runs. It's just not the ideal shoe for that, but the shoe can handle it, and it can handle it really well. I would add that this is probably also a case of a very good all-rounder shoe. You can buy this shoe for $160, euros, dollars, doesn't matter, it's the same figure, and use it for everything in your training. If you're that slightly, intermediary advanced runner and you want to have only one shoe, this could be that one shoe. If you're a beginner runner, you can do that as well, but I think there's, again, different options on the market that will work better for you. The outsole was also completely modified. It's now what's called light traction rubber, that translucent rubber that you can see right here on the outside. And there's a bit of continental rubber left here under your big toe where you have that last push and that last risk of slippage. Everything here works really well. It's a good rubber, it's lighter, and it was proved and approved on the Adidas Pro 4 Adidas race day shoe released in 2024, was already coming with that light traction outsole. And yeah, the Boston 13 just gets that same technology, which is slightly lighter as well, so saving some weight compared to the full continental rubber on the Boston 12. 160 euros, $160, is it worth the money? Yes, 100%. Go get a pair. Should you get a Boston 12 on discount? It depends. Do you want to have something that is less comfortable, a bit harsher, a bit firmer, but costs less money and can cover the same paces? Boston 12. Do you want something that offers more comfort, a bit more of a cushion ride, a softer ride, and you spend 160 euros, $160, so a bit more money on this? It's really up to you. I would rather spend a bit more money and get this. And good news is that if you use code META, META on toprunning.com, you get a discount on this shoe on release date when it hits their website on May 6, 2025. Head over there, get your pair with code META, and It will be still a bit more expensive than a Boston 12, but I think this is the right choice. That will be my choice at least. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Enjoy your run today, enjoy your ride, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions.